Companion planting is when plants are grown together for the benefit of one or both of the plants, like growing flowers amongst crops to attract bees or other pollinators, or planting two vegetables side by side to deter bad pests or to attract beneficial insects. Peppers, both sweet and hot, make good companion plants as they have the same growing needs and are susceptible to the same pests and diseases. Celery, potato and onions are companions to broccoli that are said to improve broccoli's flavor. Other reasons for companion planting include providing shelter for smaller plants, to act as natural supports, to improve soil fertility and to suppress weeds. Not all plants are good companions. You shouldn't plant carrots with dill, celery or other root vegetables like potatoes and parsnips. Avoid planting squash, tomatoes and sunflowers near your sweet potatoes. Let's look now at the companion crops that I chose and why I chose them. 11. Radish. Radish is our first companion crop and our 11th crop in total. Radishes are rich in antioxidants and minerals like calcium and potassium. These nutrients help lower high blood pressure, reduce your risk for heart disease, and they improve blood flow. But the main reasons I chose them is that they help deter pests from other vegetables, they are quick to grow, they take up very little space, and they are short plants, not making much shade. By planting seeds every 10 days, you can enjoy your first fresh radishes in about a month. Plus, the whole plant is edible, including the leaves. Radishes prefer at least 6 hours of sun a day. If radishes are planted in shade, they will put all their energy into producing larger leaves. As companions, radishes grow well with lettuces, tomatoes, carrots, onions, peas, cucumbers and spinach, as well as herbs like dill, mint and oregano. Beetroot. Beetroot is rich in vitamin B9, which helps cells grow and function and which plays a key role in controlling damage to blood vessels, reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Beets are naturally high in nitrates, which are turned into nitric oxide in the body. Once again, you can eat the whole plant, including the leaves and the stems. Beetroots are usually remarkably free from pests and diseases. Beetroots enjoy full sun, and planting can be staggered, producing the first crop within about 2 months and a new harvest towards the end of the season. Beetroot grows well with asparagus, basil, bell peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, beans, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, chard, cucumbers, leeks and lettuce, onions and tomatoes, plus a host of herbs. Lettuce. Although low in fiber, lettuce is high in minerals such as calcium, phosphorus, magnesium and potassium, and it's naturally low in sodium. Lettuce is a great source of vitamin K, which helps strengthen bones. And as water makes up over 95% of raw lettuce, it's really good for hydration. As a source of vitamin A, it helps with eye health, and lettuce helps promote sleep. Lettuce grows best in full sun, but our full sun can be a bit much for them, so they benefit from shade in the hottest parts of the day. Mint planted among your lettuce will keep slugs away. Beans, beets, broccoli, carrots, corn, peas, radishes, and marigolds also work as good companion plants. 14. Spinach. Spinach is tops when it comes to leafy greens. A serving contains only 7 calories, but almost a gram of protein, 30 milligrams of calcium, 0.8 grams of iron, plus it is rich in magnesium, potassium, vitamin A and C, and has a lot of vitamin K. Spinach likes full sun, but will tolerate some shade. Beans and peas are terrific companion plants for spinach, adding nitrogen to the soil and providing some shade to keep the spinach from bolting. Bolting refers to when the crops put on a vertical spurt to flower and set seed before the vegetables are actually ready for harvest. The result is a very bitter tasting leaf. Other spinach companion crops include cabbage, cauliflower, chard, onions, and strawberries. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are another example of a fruit that is a vegetable. It forms from a flower which will then turn into a tomato, with the seeds inside the fruit. The water content of a tomato is around 95%. The other 5% consists mainly of carbohydrates and fiber. A small raw tomato contains around 18 calories, almost 1 gram of protein, 3.9 grams of carbs, 1.2 grams of fiber, plus 2.6 grams of sugars. They are a good source of vitamin C, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin B9. Tomatoes would want at least 6 to 8 hours of sun. You will need to support the plants to keep them off the ground. Tomatoes are good companions to basil, garlic, and lettuce. Number 16 is potatoes. The average potato contains around 170 calories, but 0 grams of fat, 37 grams of carbohydrates, 5 grams of protein, and 4 grams of fiber, plus sodium and high levels of vitamin C and B6. Potato leaves are not edible, and the potato should be allowed to dry out in the ground until the peel is no longer green, as this contains a poisonous compound called solanine, which can make you sick. Potatoes grow well in pots and containers and can be grown on a patio, in a yard, or on a balcony. In beds, lettuce, spinach, and other similar leafy greens are good companions to potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes aren't actually potatoes. The sweet potato is actually a tuberous root. The plant is a member of the morning glory family. Sweet potatoes are a staple food in many parts of the world, and for good reason. They are a good source of fiber, potassium, vitamins, and other essential nutrients. 100 grams of raw sweet potato contains 85 calories, 1.6 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, and they are high in vitamin C and contain almost no fat. Plus, they are rich in beta-carotene, which is very effective at raising blood levels of vitamin A, particularly in children. A sweet potato is made up of 77% water for good hydration, and the leaves are edible. Root vegetables and bush beans are good sweet potato companions. Sweet potatoes grow best in light, sandy soils, and they love the sun. They will take up to 4 months to reach maturity. Garlic. Garlic is closely related to onions, shallots, and leeks. Garlic is highly nutritious, but has very few calories. A clove of raw garlic contains manganese, vitamin B6, vitamin C, 0.2 grams of protein, and 1 gram of carbs, plus trace amounts of various other nutrients. Garlic can help protect against illness, including the common cold, as it boosts your immune system and is said to reduce the average length of cold symptoms. Most store-bought garlic can be planted as single cloves, and it will take around 8 months from planting to harvest. Besides the health benefits, it adds flavors to foods, which is something to consider if you're eating from your garden and you haven't grown a wide variety of crops. Garlic thrives best growing in soil with lots of organic material. It loves full sun, and it is a great companion to tomatoes, potatoes, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, kale and carrots, but it can stunt the growth of beans and peas. Garlic deters pests, but the long growing cycle makes it quite difficult to grow in between crops if you're staggering your planting. So it can be grown in a pot, and this can be placed amongst your beds to deter pests. Herbs. Like garlic, herbs have high health benefits and they can be used to spice up otherwise bland foods. Plus, they attract beneficial insects and draw unwanted pests away from more susceptible plants. The herbs you grow should be chosen for your family's or customers' taste preferences, but it is worth planting certain herbs purely because they make good companions. Herbs like basil and chamomile will improve the flavor of neighboring herbs. Mint repels aphids, mosquitoes, ants, and attracts bees. Most herbs offer benefits to companions, although when choosing your preference, there are some things to consider. Fennel can restrict the growth of neighboring plants and impact their flavor. Dill should be kept away from carrots and tomatoes, but it will improve the flavor of lettuce, cabbage, and onion. Sage doesn't go well with cucumbers and onion. Flowers. There is a good reason that seasoned vegetable gardeners plant flowers in their beds, and it's not just to make them look pretty. Vegetables that flower require sexual propagation to produce fruit. Flowering plants reproduce through pollination. Flowers will have male and female sex organs. Pollen needs to be moved from the male to the female part of the plant in order to fertilize it and to produce fruit. Squash, cucumbers, tomatoes, and eggplant must be pollinated. Flowers are the best way to attract the pollinators. Without insects, you may have to pollinate by hand. A lot of flowers are actually edible, but please check if the flowers you choose as companions are, as there are some flowers that aren't meant for consumption. Although flowers will attract the good insects and deter the bad ones, some may also attract the insects that will feed on your vegetables. This is not a bad thing, as they act as trap crops. Flowers like nasturtiums will attract aphids away from your vegetables. Plus, the seeds make a tasty alternative to capers. Plant your flowers early in the season, so they are in sync with your vegetables flowering. In the next chapter, we will look at preparing our soil for our raised beds and containers. I'll see you there.